Ooh. Well, it's going to be kind of a short ride today. It's very cold out, and I'm trying to get over having COVID. So I thought, well, what better to talk about today than staying positive? So let's get into it. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, we are out for a very short ride today. And it's through the week. But I can't be in at work, at least when anybody else is in there. Which is all the time that we're open. Because I got COVID. And so I'm starting to kind of beat that a little bit. Boy, I tell you, it is cold. And I thought I'll come out here, and I went down there and hollered in the door, told the folks in the shop, I said, I think I'm going to try and take a bike ride. I feel kind of woozy still. And so maybe that getting some good fresh air will help that out. They're like, okay, so you're going to go out on something you have to balance when you're woozy. That's not real smart, you know. But hey, you know, here we are. But you know, I thought we would talk about being positive in life. And I guess that's something I've always done. You know, my mother, I've heard her tell this story a lot of times when I was around to other people that, you know, we couldn't punish him when he was a kid. And because I would ground him, which meant you go sit on your bed until your dad gets home. Now, first off, let me tell you, my dad was tough on us. There was no question about that. But this something that I took for granted at the time, I didn't learn until later in life, is it didn't matter to us because there was never a single half a second that I ever questioned whether or not my dad would lay out his life for any one of us without even without a second thought. And I found out that was actually something that was pretty rare, to know that you was unconditionally loved by your family. I thought everybody was like that, but he was tough. But anyway, so I guess I'm in there sitting on my bed, and my mother walks by and she sees me doing this. I hope you can see. You should be able to see what my arms are doing there. And she's like, what are you doing? And I looked at her and I said, I'm rowing a boat. She says, you're grounded. And I looked back at her, I said, yeah, I know. And she said, I knew right then and there. The only thing we could do is tan your hide. Because no matter what situation I'm in, I look at the positive, you know. That's like that alligator wrestler that I knew. He was so positive about everything, always had something good to say. And I asked him one day, I said, man, how do you deal with this? An alligator come out and bit his right ear, plumb off. Just walked off into the shade and went to sleep. The alligator did, not him. But I said, man, how do you deal with this? Because you'd have nothing to keep your glasses up on you. Your hat keeps falling down on that side. And you can't never become a gypsy because you have no place to hang your golden earring. He looked at me and he said, huh? What'd you say? No, that was actually a song, but I had to throw that in there. But anyway, so I've always looked at things on the positive side. And I want to go through some examples here of recently in my life and tell you how I kind of see them shaken down and how you can look at them on a positive note. So let's start back. Oh, maybe let's go back to, I don't know, about 6 months ago. I had a cancer treatment that they didn't do a good job applying it. The application didn't work very well. I knew there was something really drastically wrong with it when they did it, but they did it. I had a lot of trouble with it, and you know, we went on. I went in. I was almost sure that was what if you follow the channel a little bit, you no, I had that surgery not too long ago. That was because they thought the cancer had come back. I was almost sure it was damage from the treatment, but I have pictures hanging on my walls, not certificates of, you know, medical certificates, and I knew that God put me in front of these doctors for some reason, so I needed to listen to them. And if you don't, well, first off, we got so many new subscribers. I'm going to link a video down below. It's called, I think it's like The Rest of My Story or The Rest of the Story. I'll link that video. It's one that I did last year, and it tells you about the bladder cancer battle that I've had and what went on with that. And it's about a year old. We've learned to do the videos a little bit better as far as, you know, we got clearer resolution. So it's not, you know, maybe the screen is not real clear on that, but let me tell you something. The message on that video is loud and clear. It's perfectly clear. So, you know, check that out if you've not seen that, if you want a really powerful testimony. But anyway, so I went ahead and I said, well, okay, I guess we're going to do the surgery. That's what they're suggesting. The other option would have been I would have left it alone and we would just continue to watch it some more. And there might be some cutting in and out on this if I have a coughing fit. But honestly, for having COVID, I don't have too bad of a cough. But a little bit of a runny nose still. That might be having a lot to do with it being cold out. But so we went ahead and did the surgery. And that, I mean, the surgery went okay, but it was very difficult on me. I will say it was a very hard surgery. I don't like surgeries. I have my feelings of what's going to happen with a surgery one of these times, and we'll just leave that at that. So I don't like them, but I went ahead and did them, you know, and we had some prayer about it. And sure enough, a few days later, they said, yeah, it wasn't cancer, so I really didn't need to have it. And I really questioned how much I should be listening to all of this at that point. But you know, you go on. And so we come around to Thanksgiving, and I traveled up to see my mother, and at some point, well, I got COVID. And of course, this being the season of giving, well, I had to pay it forward and give it to somebody else. So I give it to Michelle. Wait a minute. So this video is about, you know, I think we're going to we're going to go out this way here. This video is about positivity, Blaine. I haven't said a whole lot of positive, and I tell you, I could look at it exactly that way of they screwed up my treatment. They kind of damaged me. They did a surgery that kind of further damaged me, although it'll heal, you know. I'll get through that. It'll heal up. But it further damaged me, and now I've got COVID. I'm out of my shop right now. So, you know, as best case scenario, because I do have good employees there, but they can't cover for somebody missing the whole time. You know, my supervisor has to come off of what she was doing and be taking my position right there. So we've lost a person all week. You know, where's the positivity here, Blaine? Well, let's take a look at this in a little different way. That treatment that they did, let's see, you know, I don't want to get too far because, you know, at any given point, I might get to feeling not real good. I don't know, this is the first I've been bit too far. I tried one ride out the driveway, made it that far, and turned around and went back. So I think we'll go down this way. But you know, that treatment messed me up, and that made them want to do a surgery. I looked at that surgery and I said, well, okay, you know, God's put me here, so I got to go with what they say would be the best to do. And so we're going to do that, and we did that. My other option would have been not to listen to them. And I've already mentioned why I think I needed to listen to them, not because of what I think, but because of how I got in there. Again, I'll revert you back to that first video on that. What do we got here? A cat. Yeah, there's a kitty right there. Hello, kitty, 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 kitty. I could have. Yeah, I think you're going to be gone. Yeah, I think it took off. I have noticed, and I couldn't tell because this one was in the shadows, but I've noticed a real nice little gray cat up the hill a little ways from here several times. And I thought that might have been it. That looked like a black one, but it could have just been the shadows. But anyway, let's say I did not listen to that and I just observed what was going on right there. Well, that would have meant that I would not have had that surgery. Oh, that would have been good. Well, I don't know, because that would have kept me on my regular treatment schedule, and I think that was scheduled for about a month or 6 weeks ago. And so what would have happened is I would have ended up catching COVID when I was at the absolute most compromised state I could be in. And now I know everybody says COVID is, it's a lot easier now. A lot of deer tracks through here. No, Richard, they're not knobby deer tracks. I'm talking about the two-toed. The two-toed and the stub deer tracks. But I also know somebody of somebody. We know his wife. He was battling cancer, and he caught COVID only 6 months ago, so it would have been the strain that's out right now, and he passed away from it. So, you know, when you're compromised, it can still be pretty bad stuff. And Michelle and I have 0 antibodies for COVID of any type. So, you know, it could have been very, very bad if I would have just had a treatment and then caught that. There we go. So, you know, I'm gonna see even this, the fact that I got COVID now, probably over a 3-year period of battling this, you know, taking care of this cancer, I probably caught COVID at the best time I possibly could have, because that interrupted my treatment schedule, which meant my most vulnerable schedule was interrupted in that. You know, you guys know where we're at. I seem to always take this route when it's cold, and it's because you can still get some pedaling in, and you're not going real fast when you're coming out through this way. But yeah, so we got us a few antibodies in. It's not hit us too terribly hard. I can tell you it hit us quick. It hit us quick. I was worried to death about my mother, because as soon as we got home, I had it, but we took 2 days to get home. And I thought, oh my gosh, please don't let me give it to Mom. And no, I didn't. So she's been fine. So maybe we caught it on our way home that first time. But anyway, it hit me like in 5 minutes. You know, I went from fine to freezing cold and developed a fever real quick. And I had a fever for about 48 hours, relatively low grade, you know, up to 101, maybe 102. And so not a terrible fever or anything like that. And did not have any problems with my lungs. My oxygen never went below 95, you know, because we monitor that at home. and had some nausea, but nothing drastic. And then about 48 hours later, well, about 36 hours later, Michelle comes out, she says, I got it, thanks. Because we made the whole 4 years without catching it. And, well, that is until now. And yes, it's been 4 years, because actually my daughter had it in late November, early December of 2019, before it was ever discovered. You know, she was one of the myriad of people that had the undefined upper respiratory infection that she later ended up testing positive for the antibodies and wasn't sick between then and when she was tested for the antibodies. It was around before they announced that it was around. But yeah, we're on the mend here. I can look at it positive in that way, that, you know, now I've got some antibodies in me. We've been wanting to make sure that that ended up happening at some point, some natural antibodies, and this was the best time for us to get it. It's not that hard of a strain. It's not that hard on us. As far as work, I'm stuck out of work. Yeah, I'm out here riding my bike through the week. So I'll step in the evening after everybody is gone, take a look, make sure everything is shut down. But I've got a good enough crew that they're doing a really great job for me, and I will say they have all really stepped up major to help out right now. So so that's good. They're looking at it as that's good too, because I ended up getting them pizza for lunch, and I didn't take any of it because I didn't want any of it. Just I've still got that little bit of nausea, so they got their extra pizza that I would have had. And yeah, and you know what? And I'm giving a chance to give you guys a little bit of a testimony and tell you, you can see things positive out there as well. And that's just kind of the way that I end up looking at things all the time. I guess I always have. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. I'm just going to take a slow pedal back. I'm probably even going to shut this completely off, because it is really cold out here. And yeah, it is really cold. So I think I'm going to start kind of easing my way back towards the house there and go in. I don't want to take too much of a chance on it, being out here in this cold. So yeah, with that said, I think we'll wrap it up there, Internet. So I guess if you like this, hit the like, hit the subscribe. This is probably going to be one of the extras. And come on, check out some other videos. We would really appreciate that. And until the next one, Southern E-Biking telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, we're out.